Amazing. So we have people joining. Welcome back, everyone. I really hope you actually joined the breakout session, be it financial session, be it career, talking about your career, talking about personal branding. I really hope you joined this different session and you were able to actually learn a lot, which I am sure you'll be able to learn a lot. So in the next 2 minutes, we have the co-founder of Money here with us. But in the next 2 minutes, to give more people at the room to actually join, we're waiting for them to leave their various breakout sessions and join the main session for this final space for the day. So yes, while we'll wait for them, we'll just wait for them the next 2 minutes. Amazing. So it's been 2 minutes. Mrs. Yewande, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Amazing. So we have more people who are still yet to join, but we'll just go right ahead to save because we're really trying to work with time here. So I'll just go right ahead and introduce you. We have people who are joining from or who are watching from Facebook and YouTube. So I'll just go ahead and give a brief overview of who Mrs. or who Dr. Mrs. Yewande Dipeolu is. So Dr. Yewande Dipeolu Dada is a medical doctor who is passionate about mental and behavioral health, behavioral health, gender equality, health advocacy, and research. She also holds a certificate in psychological first aid from the Johns Hopkins University, Boston. She is the co-founder and director at Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative, a non-for-profit organization driven to end the stigma associated with mental health by creating awareness about mental health and mental health problems via social and mass media, and also the provision of a crisis helpline. Dr. Wande is also passionate about exploring the use of art as therapy and improving the quality of service delivered in mental health facilities across the world. Without further ado, you have the floor, Mrs. Wande.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I hope we're doing great.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You are mute, or you're muted, Mrs. Or you're on mute, Mrs. Yewande.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so I was sorry, this was a little short notice for me. And so she told me it was going to be a question and answer session mostly. So I don't know if everyone have their questions prepared.
Okay. Okay. But before then, we're hoping you would be able to maybe speak about how, especially in terms of what has been happening in the country, it has, well, based on your professionalism and based on your experience, how this has been able to affect a lot of youth, saying that a lot of these things actually started from social media in terms of grouping everyone together in terms of different things, yes, and also the images, the graphics that we have been seeing also on social media and everywhere basically has really had or have had an adverse effect on us as youths, yes. So we're hoping you'll be able to maybe mention maybe a more generic approach to these issues that is going on around us at the moment, and then we have the floor open for everybody or anybody who has questions, both on both on Facebook and on YouTube. So you have the floor.
Okay, so I understand better now. Okay, so I know that Nigeria has been a very wonderful place lately for all of us. It's been quite difficult, to say the least. It's been difficult coping with the news that we've been exposed to, and it's been difficult filtering what we're exposed to. Generally, mental health on a normal day is something that a lot of people neglect because we don't think it's important, and also because we don't have enough information about it. Okay, so in these times, it's very paramount to take care of your mental health, not just your physical health. In the current climate now, everything is suffering. You can't exercise, you can't eat well, you're not sleeping well, because frankly, what we've gone through in Nigeria this past year has been quite traumatic, especially in the last 2 weeks. The NSAS protests, police brutality, and the Lekki Toge massacre. In the past few days, in the days leading after that, I know a lot of us have not been coping well, because I know I haven't been coping well either, because it's been quite difficult, you know. But staying on top of it, there's really no hard and fast rule to staying on top of what's going on, to stay on top of your mental health. You just have to take a step back and just give yourself a break. Okay? Mental health on its own is not just the absence of a mental illness, but it's a state of physical, mental, social well-being in which you're able to function at a high level, you're able to function at a high capacity, and also contribute meaningfully to your society. Okay? And so right now, everybody's mental health is suffering. Everybody's mental health is taking a beating. And I'll just share a couple of tips that can help in this time. First off, like I said before, you need to give yourself a break. Accept the fact that you're struggling, but also give yourself a break. Because if you don't give yourself a break, you're going to burn out, you're going to break down. And funny enough, a lot of us are already having breakdowns, but the breakdowns are going to get worse. Okay, so you need to take a step back. You need to make sure, like, you need to be intentional about yourself. You need to be intentional about your mind. You need to be intentional about self-care. I know every time we're shouting self-care, self-care, self-care. There's no particular one or two, there are no particular things that are self-care. Self-care means different things to different people. So for example, for me, maybe self-care today may be waking up and getting out of bed. For some other person, it might be brushing their teeth, having their bath, and watching a movie. Okay, so you need to be intentional about doing the little things that keep you in a good place on a normal time, on a normal day. So what are those things that you do normally that give you joy, that ground you, that calm you down? Those are the things you need to do in these times. It's quite difficult because we also have the COVID pandemic with us. So you can't, there aren't that many places where you can gather with your friends and say, oh, normally this is what I do, I hang out with my friends. But then you can have video calls, you can chat up your friends on social media, you can talk to people around you and just find out how they're coping. And also that on its own will also help you cope. Okay. And another thing is filtering what you're exposed to. So it's quite hard because a lot of us are on different groups on social media, Twitter, Instagram. You're on so many groups on WhatsApp, and then a lot of people are dropping different videos from what happened at the toll gate, what's going on in different parts of the country. You need to filter it out, and you need to filter it. It's not easy because a lot of them just post on groups, but you can try to restrict your downloads. You can try to restrict the posts you view on Twitter. You can try to restrict the posts you view on Instagram, because the more information, the more you have bad news, the more of the bad news that you have, that you're exposed to, the worse your mind can handle. You know, different people can handle stressors at different levels. So you need to know what it is you can handle and then handle it. Okay, if you're someone that you know that watching the news triggers you, filter the news. Don't watch news. Turn off your TV, turn off your CNN notifications, turn off your Arise News notifications, turn off all your notifications. Okay, that would really, really help. That would actually help with the anxiety, because a lot of people are going to be having anxiety, a lot of us, because what we have gone through as a country is very traumatic. It's a traumatic situation, whether you were part of the protest, whether you were watching from home, whether you were supporting on social media, it was traumatic. And you need to give yourself a break to be able to handle that trauma. Okay. A couple of NGOs, a couple of organizations have open call lines where if you are if you're having much more difficulty coping, you can call in and talk to somebody, and then they can help you and just talk to you and help you talk about what's going on. Okay. In the past couple of weeks, a lot of us are going to be having trouble sleeping, trouble eating. Okay. Educate yourself about mental health generally so that you can know signs to watch out for. Okay. This is the time to read resources, read materials online about how to safeguard your mental health, how to handle anxiety, how to handle panic attacks. Because if you don't know what they are, you're going to panic more when they happen. And WHO says there's about 1 in 4 people at any point in time would have a mental health issue or a mental health problem. So what we've been exposed to would increase the risk of all of us in Nigeria having a mental health problem. Okay. Symptoms usually have to have been present for a period of time, 2 to 4 weeks, before you can say, oh, this is actually a problem. But knowing what they are would actually go a long way in helping you to identify that there's a problem and then seek appropriate help when necessary. Okay. I know I'm saying so many things. I don't know if anyone has any questions. You can put your questions up on the chat platform. Okay.
If you
So
have a question, you can just raise your hand, or you can raise your hand, so you'll be allowed to speak actually, so they could ask you their question. But I think for a final question for me before everybody starts to speak is stemming from the fact that as youths growing up, we have a lot of pressures in terms of oh, you have to do this at a certain age, you're supposed to be here at a certain age, oh, my mates are graduating. There are different mental pressures that a lot of people see as normal, in terms of, okay, these are also things that, especially in our current context as Nigerians, we are, mental health discussion is not really encouraged, as the case may be. So how do we actually take active steps to actually making sure we as youth speak up, to not just people who will tell you, oh, deal with it, people who will actually help you in actually taking active steps to actually coping with these situations? So this is something you could also talk about.
Okay, so everybody in life is born with pressure. Okay, because first off, like I joke with my friends that all of us were conceived out of peer pressure, because our parents felt, oh, I'm old enough, I should have a child, or everybody around me is having a child. Pressure is always going to be there. your job as an individual is to filter it. The truth is, there's no way, like you're going to put yourself under pressure on your own. Society is going to put you under pressure. Your parents, your friends are going to put you under pressure. And it's a part of life. But you have to figure out which one is unhealthy for you. Okay? First off, one thing we need to all stop doing is comparing ourselves. We were all born at different times. Even if you're born on the same day, you're born at different times to different people. You all have different paces in life, and you have to understand that early. Everybody has a pace. Everybody has a stage that they're supposed to be at. Sometimes it sounds very aspire to perspire, but not everybody's going to achieve the same thing at the same time. Face your own race. It's hard though. It's actually quite hard to face your race, and because you would keep looking side to side, and you keep looking at everybody else, but you have to not pressurize yourself. First off, all that pressure, dead it. Look at your life. Create achievable goals for yourself. Set achievable standards for yourself. Don't look at yourself now. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 and maybe you're earning, say, 200K, and then your goal is that in a year you want to buy a G-Wagon. That's realistic for some people, but that may not be realistic for you. So look at your life, look at your career, look at, okay, what are the career progressions I want to see in the next couple of years? Give yourself short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, and stick to them and try to achieve them. Looking at what other people are doing is going to weigh you down, because the truth is different people have different energies, have different things that they're doing. So you may be looking at another 9 to 5 and saying, oh, this person has more stuff than I do. But what if the person is also an entrepreneur? So you don't know, and you need to stop comparing. When you stop comparing, you reduce the pressure on yourself. And then when you notice that people around you are putting you under undue pressure, like, okay, parents, for example, always saying, oh, you're 25, you should get married, blah, blah, blah. Reduce your interactions with them. It's hard, but you need to reduce your interaction with them. If you know that every time you're going to see this person is going to talk about marriage and you don't want to hear it, minimal interaction. Hey, mom, how are you? Greet your calls. Reduce the amount of time you spend on calls. Reduce the amount of time you spend visiting. Because you might think that all those pressures don't have any impact on you, but they do, and they add up. And then you're wondering, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping. Oh, something is wrong and I can't figure out what is wrong. But all these things are there. Those negative words are in your mind, and they keep on playing out and playing out and playing out, especially when you're alone. And then you start to find out that, oh, you're having trouble coping with things that would normally not be a big deal for you. You're having trouble coping with work and all that. So you need to filter negative people that give you negative feedback. Negative feedback different from constructive criticism. Please know the difference. Okay. So learning to coping with pressure varies for different people. Some people cope with pressure by hanging out with their friends. Some people, alcohol, drugs, smoking. Those are not advisable. Okay, those are not advisable, because then you increase your tolerance, and then maybe you used to drink a bottle of something and then it's no longer enough. So those are not acceptable ways to cope. Having friends and people who you can talk to helps a lot with coping with stress. Exercises, volunteering for causes you believe in. You can volunteer with different organizations. That would also help you increase your self-worth, increase your confidence, and also help you cope with different forms of pressure. Okay, I hope I answered that question sufficiently well. Okay, let me take questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the answer. I saw someone with his hands up. Okay, I no longer see the. But if you do have questions,
I think it was Michael something.
Michael.
Yeah,
okay.
That was the name I think.
But if you have questions, just raise your hand so I would unmute you and you can ask your questions related to managing mental pressures. Or you could just unmute yourself. I think I have allowed all participants to unmute. Yes.
Okay. So I'll just talk about a few other things. Okay, so how to know that your mental health is not optimal. The first comment is that you should know your normal. So what are the things that are normal for you? What is normal for you might not be what is normal for another person. For example, now what's normal for me is to wake up in the morning, pray, have my bath, get ready for work, go to work, finish work, get back home, watch a movie or cook or something. For some people, they work from home and they prefer to have like a quieter day. Okay, maybe just turn on their computer, do stuff. You need to know your normal. When you know what is normal for you. For example, an introvert all of a sudden just starts talking very fast with everybody, being very friendly, being very jovial, aggressive. You know that, okay, something might be wrong somewhere. Okay, so knowing your normal is key to managing your mental health optimally. When you know what's normal for you, you know when there's something that is wrong. Okay, so some signs to watch out for to know that, okay, things might be going wrong, and for a time frame of 2 to 4 weeks. When you start having trouble sleeping or you're sleeping too much, okay, that's a worrying sign. When your appetite is either increased or suddenly reduces, okay, and then you can't eat anything that you like to eat on a normal day. When you start withdrawing, when you start feeling that you need to withdraw from friends and family, when, let's say, for example, you're very social, you notice that, oh, you don't really want to hang out anymore, you want to stay home all the time, and that's a deviation from your normal. So that's something to worry about. Okay, when you start having feelings of guilt, feelings of worthlessness, hopelessness, that's a worrying sign. Okay, reduced energy, reduction in energy levels, low mood. Okay, you no longer have energy to do tasks that will usually take you a short time and a short period of time. Okay, low energy, low mood, just always feeling very down without being able to explain it. Okay, unexplained body headaches, unexplained body aches, just always feeling weak, always feeling dizzy, always feeling tired. Okay, and then feelings, suicidal ideation. Okay, risky behavior. Okay, I mentioned suicidal ideation. That means having thoughts of ending one's life. Once you start to have thoughts of ending your life, that is like a trigger warning. That is a warning sign. And that's something that once you notice, if it happens once, if it happens twice, you need to call or you need to speak with a professional. Okay, and then engaging in risky behavior. It can be drinking, binge drinking, smoking, risky sexual behavior, you know, all these forms, all these things that culminate in self-harm protocol, self-harm practices, or just wanting to feel sorry for that. Okay, I'm back. So these are some worrying signs. And when you notice any of these signs for a period of 2 to 4 weeks, you need to call someone, you need to speak with someone. Okay. What to do when you notice someone around you has any issues or is deviating from their own normal? Ask them questions. Okay. What's going on with you? I noticed that this has changed. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can help with? Okay, and they'll usually tell you what the problem is if they know you or if they really believe that you're interested in what's going on. And what you need to do is listen to them, reassure them, and try to get them help. Okay, reassuring them doesn't mean you should say, oh, it is well, other people have it worse. You're not the only one suffering. You're being selfish because God has been good to you. That sort of speech, get it. Just reassure them, okay, I may not understand what you're going through, but I'm here to help you. I'm here for you in any way I can be. Let's get information together. let's go online and research what can be wrong, or let's reach out to these people. I think they might be able to help, or let's go to the hospital together. These are ways to help, okay? But the most important way to help is to inform yourself. Read materials about mental health. Read, like we have a lot of resources available online. At Mentally Aware, we create a lot of resources, especially to help in these times. Resources on sleep hygiene, resources on anxiety disorders, resources on PTSD and all that. Try to read, because when you read a lot, when you have a lot of information, not all the information, when you have a lot of information, you can help someone that is in need, and you can also help yourself. Because when you've read somewhere that, these are signs of depression, and then you start to experience these signs, so it's time to go to the hospital, or it's time to speak with a psychiatrist or a therapist, or to call a helpline and talk to someone that can help me, okay? So you need to stay informed, and you need to take regular breaks. In these times, we all need to take regular breaks from social media, regular breaks from the news, regular breaks from everything, and you need to be able to filter what you expose your mind to, okay? Don't reach breaking points before you seek for help. Don't get to the end of your tether, okay? It can be hard to seek for help because as a country, we have very bad health-seeking behavior. But I think it's increasing, or I think it's getting better. And I think as the youth, we need to safeguard our mental health. We need to safeguard our health generally. Okay, and in these times, self-care is the most important thing. Doing little things like making something to eat, taking a walk, getting out of bed, brushing your teeth. You may think that these things are very trivial, but there's some people who can't do them because they've gotten to that stage in life where they just can't. So self-care, take care of yourself, take care of your mind, eat properly, exercise if you can. Watch a movie, turn off your Twitter, turn off your Instagram for a couple of hours every day so you can just take a break so that your mind can just focus its energies on something else, okay? It's very difficult, but it's doable, okay? And please, let's try to remember that our mental health is as important as our physical health. Everybody should have a therapist on speed dial if you can, okay? If you can't afford one, there are different helplines you can call to speak with someone, and they'll be able to help you, okay, in any way possible. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and for the session. I have learned a thing or two. So this is the opportunity for anybody again who has questions to just unmute and ask your questions. And if you do not, kindly just indicate that if you've been able to learn a thing or two from this session. Oh, okay. Someone says she wish you won't stop talking. Amazing. So if you have questions again, you could either type the questions in the chat box, or you could just unmute yourself and ask your questions. Amazing. Morenike is telling us that the session is so enlightening. Amazing. So I would like to believe that everybody have had an amazing time listening to you, and it has been really clear in terms of the next active steps to actually managing our mental health or mental pressures as youths. Okay, we do have a question from Redemi. How do I balance pressures from my separated parents? So again, she is asking, how do I manage balance pressures from my separated parents? Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, so having separated parents can be difficult because they tend to always want to put you in the middle. So you see that middle there, stay away from it, okay? Interact with them equally or as equally as possible, depending on which of them you stay with. There's always going to be stress from each side because they're always going to want to put you in the middle of every fight or every discussion. Try to stay away from the middle if possible. Stay away from both of them. and interact with them minimally. It's difficult. You always want to do things together. You always want to take advice from both of them, and that might be difficult. So if you stay alone, that's fine. If you don't stay alone, you might need to filter your interaction with both of them. Okay? Limit your interaction. The person you live with will probably see you more and probably interact more. It's really hard. Maybe we can talk about it, not this. We can talk more. I can't go into a lot of detail because of some other family dynamics. So you can reach me after the session and we'll talk about it, because I need to understand the kind of pressure. What's it called? The kind of pressure that, oh, let me see, how do I help my friend with suicidal thoughts? Okay, so please reach out to me after the session about this pressure and how you can strike a balance. Yeah. Then Morenike says, how do I help my friend with suicidal thoughts? I recommended seeing a therapist, declined. Okay, so some people don't want to go into therapy because of self-stigma and the current problem where we have mental health stigma. A lot of people believe that once you go to a psychiatric hospital or to see a therapist, you have a problem. Everybody should see a therapist. If she doesn't want to go into an office to see anyone, what you can do is give her a helpline. Okay, so you can fill out a form for her on a Mentally Aware NG on our website. Okay, there's a form. You can fill her details and a therapist to contact her and just speak with her about what's going on with her. But the thing is, she needs to consent. Okay, she needs to consent. So talk with her that, okay, would she rather talk to someone on the phone, and then give her the helpline numbers. I would put the helpline numbers at the end of the chat. I'll just put it in the chat box so you can get the numbers from there, and then let her call in and talk to someone. Okay. I'm glad that you really want to help her, because so I'm really glad you want to help her. The next question, you made mention of comparison. Some people actually feel motivated when they compare themselves to others. How do you identify the line between being... Comparison is not a bad thing. Everything else is not a bad thing. But when you allow the comparison start to affect your life. Okay, so I'm comparing my friend. Oh, so because my friend has a car now, I'm getting motivated to save up money and buy a car. No problem. But when you now become obsessed with other people's success, that is where there's a problem. For example, now you're going to bed and you're thinking, oh, I've not bought this car, I've not done this thing because this person has not, I haven't done so. You don't know the struggles the person is going on with, that, or the work or the things that they're doing that's making them achieve that success at a different rate. So when it starts to control your life, basically, when your motivation for doing something is not to make your life better. Like, for example, maybe you're trying to get a house and you're not getting it because you want to a better place, or because you want to move out of your parents' house. You're getting a house because you want to get something better than what X has. That has become a problem. Or you want to buy a car because it's comfortable getting in a bus and I can now afford a car. You're buying a car because, oh, I want to buy so car because X has this kind of car and that kind of car I want to buy. So it's usually a very fine line. It's usually a very fine line between comparison and an obsession that becomes detrimental to your mental health. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to leave my phone. I'm going to leave the helpline numbers for Mentally Aware and I'll in the chat. So if you have any other questions, you can reach out to us and we'll be able to help as best as we can.
Okay, before we go, can you hear me, Ma? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, amazing. We have one question on YouTube.
Yes,
before watching on YouTube. She's asking, or she's saying, so before now we've heard about mental health as it is a topic that people are pushing forward. But then access to a psychologist or a psychiatrist is rather expensive or non-existent. So could you provide us with resources or contacts where we can receive help? Because one session with a psychologist can cost as much as 50K.
So, health is what expensive. Okay, health is expensive. Healthcare is expensive, especially in Nigeria, because all pay out for pockets and very few people have health insurance. Mental health care also, because it's relative, can be accessed at all federal hospitals. In Lagos, for example, there's federal psychiatric hospital, there's a medical hospital. All and state hospitals have psychiatric units. They have psychiatric departments. And the fees for as low as 1,000 naira. Okay, where you can see sheets for as low as 5,000 naira. Okay, private psychiatrists cost more, definitely. So if you can't afford to see, go to the federal medical centers, hospitals, to the teaching hospitals. Any state hospitals have departments which has psychotherapists, clinical psychologists, and psychiatrists available. If you are mentally aware, we try to give 3 sessions for free. And if we believe you need more sessions, then we refer you to the federal hospitals or depending on what you want, either a private psychiatrist, a private psychologist, or the next level of things. So you can reach out to us later. There are a couple of other areas too that offer therapy or do free sessions every other month. So you can check online, your community space, NDE. There are a lot of them actually. So and put some in the chat box. You can see. Okay. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, you have. You sure have been able to answer the question. And if you check the chat box, Mrs. Yewande have shared a number or the numbers you could contact with regards to getting help rather, and that's like mentally aware helpline. And you could also reach out to mentally aware initiative on Instagram and basically all social medias at mentally aware ng definitely we'll be sending these numbers and social media handles on the outputs for this leadership summit day 2, and I really hope we have been able to actually learn a lot from Dr. Yewande. And you could also send Dr. Yewande a personal DM, a personal message on Instagram. Am I correct? On Instagram, Dr. Yewande at Wande.
Yeah, it's Instagram. Yeah, Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. You could also send her a DM on any of these platforms that she had mentioned. So thank you so much for your time, Dr. Wande. We really appreciate you being here despite such short schedule. We really appreciate you being here with us. So that would be all. If there are no more questions, if you have further questions, again, you could just reach out to her or just send your questions to us, AIESEC Nigeria, on any of our social media platforms or nigeria@aisec.net. So thank you so much for your time, and
thank you for having me.
So we are 10 minutes behind it. 5 minutes rather behind the scheduled time for Leadership Summit 2020 Day. So finally, for 5 minutes, I said we had an amazing announcement that we have for everybody who have joined Leadership Summit 2020. And now more than ever is the time for us to have the announcement. We have with us Mariam. Mariam, can you hear me? Mariam.
Here.
Amazing. Mariam is here to speak with us on, or basically launch something very important. And over to you, Mariam, basically. Over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope the conference so far have been engaging, impactful, and interesting. My name is Mariam, and I am the project manager in charge of the upcoming event that we have in December, and it is the Careers Fair 2020. So this event is a different ballgame entirely. Like, it's so different from all the events we've been having in past times. It's so, oh my god.
Mariam, you're breaking. It's really breaking. Like,
oh, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Very clearly now.
Yes, but it's cracking.
It's still cracking. Oh, so sad. Okay, I'm coming.
amazing. So while we wait for Mariam to figure or fix our network, we really would love to hear from you. For everybody who gave feedback for Leadership Summit Day 1, we really hoped your feedback was actually implemented in Day 2. For example, we had a feedback with regards to more interactive spaces. We really hope you were able to get that. And we're looking to have a feedback for the general Leadership Summits. How would you rate the sessions for today? Which sessions was most enjoyable for you? We really would love to hear your feedback. So the link would be shared on every group, and I'm typing it now to allow you actually give us your feedback with regards to what we can do better and how we can improve, as the case may be. Are you back now?
Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Can you hear me clearly now?
I can. If you can hear, could you please kindly indicate you can, but I can.
Okay. I think I'm going to sacrifice my video so it's not crack anymore. I think it's Nigerian, so it's kind of crazy, so I have to sacrifice it. If you can hear me, so I could just continue. Nobody's hearing me.
I can, but it's still breaking.
It's still breaking. Okay. Really, I don't know what to do anymore. All right. Everybody, my name is Mariam Suleiman, and I hope you guys had an amazing session so far. I hope this conference has been amazing for you all. I am the project manager in charge of the upcoming conference coming up in Careers Fair. The Careers Fair is also organized by AIESEC in Nigeria, and it's going to be a different ballgame entirely. This event is to empower youth with different knowledge of soft skills that can help every youth to progress in their different careers. And why this is different because it's not just going to be focusing on just the white collar job, the office kind of job. It has to do with every single aspect, from photography to digital creator or content creator. So it has to do with different aspects in different fields of your career, or yeah, so basically. And it's coming very, very soon, like I said, December, and the registration form or link will be out very, 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 very soon. So I want to see every single one of everyone here there. Like it's going to be engaging. It's going
Okay, hi Miriam. So you really have your network really breaking. Hello everybody, can you hear me clearly? So I'll just try and I'll definitely just be assisting Miriam to explain what she is trying, because I have an overview of what she is trying to say. So Miriam is just here to inform everyone of an upcoming AIESEC event again that is coming up in December 4th and 5th, Career Fair 2020. And why is it different from every career fair, every Dictum and Harry career fair that you probably see everywhere, is because we're focusing on the 21st century skills. So now we know for career fairs, obviously you're supposed to maybe get a job placement. But what we're focusing on here is the 21st century careers that are not getting, that are just getting the attention that you're supposed to get. So when I'm talking about 21st century careers, we're talking about product management, we're talking about photography, we're talking about entertainment, everything entertainment, including maybe being an influencers. We're having influencers who will be coming on board. We're having comedians, example, Chahoma and some other people who have made great waves in the industry coming on board to actually take us through this rudiment of careers. When we talk about careers, we're talking about careers in terms of UI, UX, talking about careers in terms of blockchain, we're talking about careers in the 21st century context. So this is why this is different from every other career fair that you probably see. And this is just a pre-information that it is going to be happening in December. And further details about this event will also be sent with the output of this conference, in terms of the session slides, in terms of the answers to every question that has been asked from day 1 to day 2, and the links to register if interested, and a more detailed explanation of what to expect from Career Fair 2020 would also be in that email. So look out for your emails, or frequently look at your emails, and by next week we'll be getting this all-encompassing emails for everything that has happened so far. Again, do not forget to give us your feedback on how Leadership Summit Day 1 and Day 2 have been for you, in terms of the lineup of speakers, in terms of your key takeaway, in terms of maybe getting the help. Did you meet your expectation when you actually signed up? Did you meet your expectation? Now that you've actually been here, this is what we would like to hear from you. Once again, my name is Mojoyola Balogun, and I am the Business Development Manager for AIESEC in Nigeria. We really thank you for your time, for being here with us Day 1 and Day 2, and we really look forward to seeing you at Career Fair 2020. Do not forget to follow us on all our social medias, and thank you and have a lovely weekend. Bye, everybody. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mercy. Tosi, yes, the feedback links will be sent to your group. Thank you, Ibukun. Thank you, Zekinat. Thank you, Oyele. Yeah. Thank you, Oyele. Yeah. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Flora. Thank you, Amaomi. Thank you, Olabode. Thank you, Oluwatosin Olabode. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Chidima Samson. Thank you, Kinsley. Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Redemi. Thank you, Mariam.